Well, excuse me. Well, good morning, YouTube. Um, it's a rainy day right here in New York, and as you can see, I am still pretty depressed. I did not get enough sleep, or didn't have a really good night's sleep last night, as I watched in disappointment as my Boston Bruins lose the Stanley Cup final in 7 games last night. We lose 4-1 to the St. Louis Blues. Don't know what to say. I can sit here and blame the refs. That's basically what this playoff was all about. People blaming the refs, you know, and I admit, there were really some questionable calls throughout the playoffs, especially that Game 5 game that I went to. So, a referee, apparently, actually, I'm going to tell you guys all what happened. I'm actually going to go through game by game, a recap of each game, but just the score. But St. Louis wins their first NHL playoff. St. Louis. Wow, I am so depressed I can't even say the right sentences. But St. Louis Blues win their first Stanley Cup championship in 52 years. And for my Boston Bruins, this is a heartbreaking loss. And I gotta admit, you can call me a crybaby all you want, you can call me a butthurt fan, but I can admit it. After, it was 3-0, I burst into tears. All I can say is, how would you feel if your team went all the way to the Stanley Cup final, right? Go 7 games, home ice advantage in the game 7, and you get your ass kicked in front of your fans. Embarrassment. Legit, ridiculously embarrassing. And I broke into tears. Heartbroken. And I still am. Couldn't get any sleep last night. But look, bright side is, Bruins fans saying that we have a bright future. It's the same shit what, every fan in the NHL would say, especially Leaf fans after losing us twice in a row in 2 years. Like, they're gonna keep saying, "Oh, expect change. We're gonna be a better team." It's annoying once for a while if you keep losing the playoffs. In Game 7, I had the opportunity to see one of my teams that I've been cheering for win a cup. But what happened? Nope, it went around the way. It just went all the fuck the other way around. You know why? Because this Bruins team cannot do shit. And I say this again, cannot do shit at home for some reason. If you look at us, we're pretty good on the road, actually. Same with the Blues. This is the only reason the Blues won. If you look at the series, this Boston Bruins team was god-awful at home. But apparently, we're pretty much a great team on the road. And the Blues, throughout the entire playoff, they were the best, I'll just say the best road team, in my opinion. They had a really good away record. And it happens. West teams are considered really tough teams. St. Louis, they were bullying us all series. I don't understand why it was. It was basically the series was the away team winning games. The Bruins won a bunch of games away, and the Blues won against a bunch of games on the road. Both teams had success on the road. But before I get into talking about each game, I'm gonna say this. I don't have any hatred. I don't have any hate for the St. Louis Blues. Basically the reason I will say this again. Basically the reason why St. Louis won this cup is because of their fantastic performance on the road. Game 1, they took a 2-0 lead on us. We were lucky to come back, beat them. Game 2, they came out flying. Game 2 started, we were nowhere to be found. They bullied us all over the fucking ice. I did a reaction video for that game too. That game, at the end of overtime, I was frustrated. I actually broke a lamp. But they bullied us in game 2. They took game 2 on the road. And they're going back home with momentum. And what do you know? We get the Bruins. We beat them 7-2. Just an absolute ass whooping. And that game was, it was shocking to me. I thought the Blues would, I thought the Blues would put up a really, really good fight. And 7-2. You're down 2-1. You got to win your 4th home game, St. Louis. And you did. You came up flying. The Bruins kept it close. I think it was like 2-0 first, and then we tied it 3-2 late in the third. Empty netter, 4-2. St. Louis tied the series with a win. Game 4, 4-2. Series tied at 2-2. Game 5. Game 5 in Boston. I went to this game. It was such a hard game to watch. And like I said before in the beginning, I'm going to say this slow. The referees were they were basically all the referees this postseason. Basically all the NHL referees can go suck a dick, okay? I can blame a lot of NHL fans are blaming about the refs. I can give you a million examples of how the referees had their head in their asses. And especially this game 5. Let me tell you. So, it was a really, really good first, second period, I guess. Went back and forth. St. Louis struck first. 1-0 St. Louis. And this is where I got really, really pissed at the game. And this is what, made Bruins fans upset. Throwing shit on the ice. And I was embarrassed to see my own fan base do that. Like, you're pulling a Philadelphia Flyers shit right there. But apparently what happened was there was no tripping call that was supposed to be fucking called. But apparently the referees look like they just don't have fucking eyes or anything like that. Missed the call. That leads to a St. Louis. There's one helpless Bruins player on the fucking floor. And the referees missed that call. Fans get upset. They say, bullshit, bullshit. And what do you know? St. Louis gets another goal off of fucking bullshit controversial call. 2-0. And then Jake DeBrusk throws a one-timer, and we're back in this. 6 minutes left. Can we get an empty netter? No, we cannot. We tried so hard. There was a couple opportunities that almost went in, tied the game, but apparently it wasn't enough. We lose game 5. 2-1. We were 1-2, and we are 1-2 in game 5 in this playoffs. That one win came in the Columbus series when we had that last minute overtime last minute goal, game winning goal by David Pastrnak. And game 5, down 3-2, we're going to St. Louis, and I was like, oh my god, the series over. But, however, I had faith. This Bruins team has been here before, facing elimination. As you can recall, the Bruins in the first round played the Leafs, and when we were down 2-1, we were in a must-win. We won game 4 in Toronto. We're down 3-2 after losing game 5. We go into Toronto again in a must-win. We win game 6 in Toronto. And exactly, in the Columbus series, down 2-1, must-win in game 4. We come up flying in game 4 and win 6-4. And I'm thinking to myself, we can do this. We can do this. We can win. We gotta play well. This is a must-win. We're not gonna make St. Louis win so easily. And what do you know? We get the W with another blowout, 5-2. What a tremendous performance. the series shift back to Boston in Game 7. And I'm thinking to myself, we gotta win. And I knew. And I knew St. Louis was a dangerous team. I knew that we could do shit on the road. This Bruins team, I'll say this Bruins team couldn't do shit at home for some reason. And this reminds me of the 2017 series that we had with Ottawa. In the Ottawa series, they beat us in 6 games. And those 2 wins, none of the wins came at home. Ottawa came to our house that year and kicked our ass. Just stuck their foot in our asses and just punched up right in the face at home. Couldn't win any home games. So those 2 wins that came in that series, that 6-game series loss in Ottawa in 2017, they were only road wins. We didn't win shit at home, okay? So, same with this playoff. We can't seem to win on the road. I mean, on the home ice. At home, in front of our fans. Game 1 was the only game we won at home. And I say that was pretty good, damn lucky. St. Louis took a 2-0 lead in Game 1 and we somehow came back. St. Louis took a 2-0 lead in Game 7 last night. Knew we couldn't come back because it wasn't going to happen 2 games in a row. Game 1, they were up 2-0, we came back. Game 7, once again, St. Louis was up 2-0. Knew we weren't going to come back. We could have tried, but it was way different. St. Louis came, to our house and beat us. And this is what I'm talking about. St. Louis has a really, really good road record. And they're a tough team. They hit hard. They get away. I mean, I wouldn't say they get away with penalties since the Bruins sometimes do that. I'll admit, as a Bruins fan, we get away with penalties. But that's basically what you have to do to beat us. And that's what St. Louis did. They played physical. They were the better team. And, props to Jordan Binnington, man. That dude was on fire in Game 7. So many tremendous, saves. He gave up 7 goals in Game 3. That was ridiculous. Because for some reason, the Blues can't win at home. I mean, like they did. And then the Bruins have trouble winning at home. These two teams are pretty much good on the road. If you come to think of it. I believe we were 7-6, I believe, on home, winning home games in this playoffs. And I believe we were like 8-3 on the road or something. This Bruins team is good on the road. We won like so many games on the road. We were a much better road team in the playoffs. I gotta admit, this one hurts. The opportunity to see your team win the cup. I'm too distressed. I don't want to even wear my Bruins gear or anything like that. I'm too embarrassed. But the opportunity to watch your team raise the cup at home in front of your fans would just be tremendous. And unfortunately, last night that didn't happen. I had trouble sleeping. To be honest with you, I had trouble sleeping. But it was a Bruins fan like myself. I've been cheering for this team since like 2008, 2009, I believe. I don't even remember. 2009. And I'm a diehard Bruins fan for life. And like I said, St. Louis hasn't won a cup. Back-to-back years, a team has won a Stanley Cup for the first time in their lifetime. Like Washington, they have never won a cup. They finally did it last year. And now St. Louis. And that's basically what, people say that have to happen in football, like the Patriots winning every year or something like that. They want to see a different team win. That's basically what has happened with the NHL. Mostly it was the Kings, the Blackhawks, the Bruins. A couple teams like that have won. I remember the Penguins won back-to-back. The haters hating on the Penguins, saying, come on, someone else needs to win, It's mostly those teams, And there's St. Louis. St. Louis, let me tell you about the Blues. And the Blues fans can disagree with me all you want. But I noticed you guys take, the first 2 games and then just took the next 4. It's been that pattern for I can tell you how many years it's been. It's like a couple of years. I just see you guys win like the first two games, games 1 and 2, and then just blow the next four for some reason. I don't know. And you guys didn't choke. People are saying St. Louis are the biggest chokers ever. Um, but Game 7 last night was too hard to watch. But I'm not going to take away anything from St. Louis. They're a great team. The better team showed up in Game 7, and that was the St. Louis Blues. The Bruins weren't nowhere to be found. They had great opportunities. We were outscoring them in the first period, and we did get a single goal, so that was bullshit. But I guess it's hockey, outscoring your opponents most likely is a high percentage for getting a goal. And basically, apparently, it doesn't matter because we've done so. We gave everything at Jordan Binghamton, and he still had some fantastic saves on us. This reminds me of Game 3, our first Game 3 against the Hurricanes, where the Hurricanes just outscored us in the first period. They couldn't get a goal, and then the other away team just scored. That's pretty much what happened in Game 7. We outscored the Blues in this Game 7, and we couldn't get a single goal in the first period, the second period. The only goal that we had was a lucky one-timer by Matt Grislam. Like, where was that in the first period? But like I said, no hatred towards the St. Louis Blues. I think they're a great franchise. I mean, basically they were the laughingstock in the NHL for not winning any Stanley Cup championships. But there you have it, St. Louis. Congratulations. Look, as disappointing as I am, I'll say this as a Bruins fan. And I can probably speak to every single Bruins fan out there. Keep your head up. I'll say this. It's going to be, it is what it is. We made it all the way to the Stanley Cup final for the first time in 2013. At least we didn't get our ass kicked like in 5 or 6 games. This Stanley Cup final went to 7 games. And it's something I can assure you that all NHL fans want to see. A Stanley Cup final in 7 games. We made it this far, Bruins fans. It's disappointing, heartbreaking. There's going to be a lot of memes of Brad Marchand crying. But anyways, I want to take this time. I didn't get a chance, but like I said, I don't have any hatred towards the St. Louis Blues, but I want to take this time to give an absolute huge shout out to the St. Louis Blues organization and coach and fans. Congratulations, guys. You guys were a much better team. Congratulations on your first Stanley Cup title. You guys deserved it. Enjoy the win. It's going to be a party in St. Louis, Missouri, and you guys are going to your first ever Stanley Cup. Enjoy it while you can. While for the Bruins, disappointing for us. Probably be back next year. We got a lot of stuff doing for the off season, going on in the off season. So yeah, shout out to St. Louis Blue fans. Congratulations on your win. Got tremendous respect for you guys. You guys have a fantastic team, and give that man an MVP. Come on. I don't know if he won MVP, but Jordan Binghamton. Oh my God, he's the game. I would say this. He's most likely he is guaranteed the Game 7 star of the game. And for Tuukka Rask, I salute him on a tremendous performance. Oh my God, this man! I'll be in tears. I'll be mad. I'll be upset if Tuukka Rask leaves us. He might be a free agent. I don't know who's going to leave or not. It's gonna be a hell of a ride next season. I can't wait for next season. I know it's early, of course. Stanley Cup final just ended. Just hold your horses, man. But like I said, congratulations all you St. Louis Blues fans on your win. Special team for you guys, and I wish you all the luck next year defending the title. you know, there was several teams have successfully defended the title, such as the Penguins, the Blackhawks. But my question is, can the St. Louis Blues do it? That'll be shocking if they do. But anyways, I'm getting out here. This video is getting long, but Stanley Cup final recap, I guess. Just sharing my thoughts. It was a disappointing loss. Wish it kind of got. I really wish it could have been a little bit closer. That would just make Game 7 more intense. It was just a complete ass whooping. But anyways, I'm gonna try to get over this loss. That's what I do. I'm a Bruins fan, Steelers. Anytime the Steelers, the Bruins, the Celtics lose, I try to shake off a loss. It's disappointing and it's tough. And that's what being a sports fan is all about. You know, win or lose, your team's not gonna win everything. But I was confident we're gonna win Game 7. We were 1-0. We were 1-0 in Game 7 in this series. We beat Toronto, and then we lost to you guys. We given what we want, 1-1. But anyways, congratulations, St. Louis Blues. Go party. I was going to be in Boston, I think, next week, so it would be unfortunate. It would be great if the parade was there, but unfortunately, you guys have the parade. Go celebrate 50 years, 50 years and counting. That that curse is now broken. You guys have a Stanley Cup championship now. Go enjoy it. And for me, I'm Bruins Steel. Thank you guys. Hockey season is over, and I'll see you guys in the flip side. See you guys later.